Kansas City. The Broncos enter their Week 6 matchup against the Chiefs in search of their first divisional win of the season, and they'll attempt to end a 15-game streak at the hands of Kansas City in the process. And while tackle Mike McGlinchey acknowledged earlier in the week that the Broncos must do our part to make it a rivalry again, Denver's first primetime test of the season may be more about an internal focus on this singular game. The important thing is that we've got to create a new history, quarterback Wilson said after Tuesday's practice. We have to be able to do that with one play at a time, one moment at a time, one game at a time. Every game has a history of its own, and we've got to be focused on this one and go win this game, added head coach Sean Payton. So often in this league, it's inward. When you're playing well, they become faceless opponents. I mean that with respect to whoever you're playing. It's about getting yourself and your team ready to play. As Denver aims to snap a skid against Kansas City, here's a look at a question for the Broncos to answer, a matchup to watch and a stat to know. One big question: can the Broncos close out a close one? While the Broncos' streak against the Chiefs stretches back to 2015, there has been no shortage of close calls. 4 of the Broncos' last 5 games against Kansas City have been one-score affairs, and the Broncos led entering the fourth quarter in last season's Week 17 meeting in Arrowhead. We're confident in the guys in this locker room and the group we have, Kareem Jackson said Tuesday. It's all about us going and executing. One-score games, that means 1 or 2 plays here and there. It can go the other way, so we've got to find a way to make those plays. The Broncos converted their chances in a Week 4 win against Chicago, and they fell just short on game-tying drive attempts versus Washington and New York. Wilson, who has spoken about the importance of making game-altering plays, said the Broncos must be ready to capitalize on their chances. It's going to be a game that's going to go back and forth, Wilson said, and we've got to be the ones who end up on top. For the Broncos to do that, they'll aim to start fast and sustain a strong performance across an entire contest. Denver has led at halftime in 3 of its 5 losses and has currently lost 10 consecutive games in which it led at halftime. Putting 4 quarters together is obviously one of the things I made a note of this morning, Payton said Monday. Matchup to watch: Kelce versus Denver's defense. Kansas City's all-pro tight end is questionable for Thursday Night Football, but he'll need to be one of Denver's main focuses if he is able to play in Week 6. The Chiefs' lone loss this year came with Kelce on the sideline, and he leads the Chiefs with 27 catches, 222 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns since returning.